Welcome to Behind the Booth. This is episode 1. I am your host, Kaia Pierce. About a year ago, I picked up a DJ board with the aspirations of pulling a John Summit. That did not work out for me, but I kept going to shows, I kept meeting people, I kept dancing, and I loved it. So Behind the Booth is my way of getting to know the artists, getting to know the music, getting to know them as people, and hopefully giving back in a way. So that is episode 1, and let's get into it with Geo Smith. All right, well, so today we're here with Geo Smith. How are you doing? You played a show for First Choice yesterday. How did that go?
I did. It went pretty well. Shout out First Choice. Thanks for having me. Did a B2B with my homie Jess. Shout out Jess as well. And it was super fun. They had a great event. A bunch of DJs on the lineup.
You guys have a couple of unreleased tracks coming out soon, right?
Yeah, we've been making some music. Got to try some stuff out last night. Sounded pretty good.
How'd it go? Was there a good crowd reaction? I don't know how it works with DJs in that sense. Do you guys run your new IDs at a venue?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the best part about it is making something new and then seeing how the people like it, how it sounds on big speakers.
So how did the people like it?
I thought the people liked it. I mean, got pretty good feedback overall. Still waiting for someone to tell me that they didn't like it. So.
Okay, what was the best feedback you had then from the night?
You ripped it. I feel like that's the best feedback you can get. So.
That's always that's the best compliment I feel like.
Yeah.
You're ripping.
No, I feel like the homies just had a good time.
Fair enough, and cheers to that.
Cheers to that, for sure.
So we're gonna run it back a little bit.
Definitely.
You've clearly been in the space for some time now, but it seems like you kind of come from a classically trained background. What was your first initial introduction to music?
Yeah. I mean, it goes way back. So I think the true introduction was when I was a baby in diapers. I'd sit on my kitchen floor with wooden spoons and pots and pans spread out all throughout the floor, and then kind of played the drums on that.
So you started as a drummer?
Yeah, started as a drummer. Always interested in the rhythm. So I think from that, I eventually got a drum set. I remember my family moved when I was going into 3rd grade, and in the house we moved to, we just had a living room with no furniture in it and just a drum set. So shout out to my
Where are you
parents
from originally?
I was born in Oak Park and then moved to Glen Ellen with my family, so western suburbs of Chicago. So yeah, a lot of drumming, and then I picked up the trombone in 5th grade.
There we go with the trombone.
Yeah, playing some brass. So I had a cousin that played the trombone, and I was I don't know, I kind of looked up to him.
So that was your inspiration for starting with the trombone?
Yeah.
I mean, no shade to the trombone, but it feels slightly nerdy. What it was?
Yeah, I've gotten that my whole life, but trombone is pretty sick. I mean, I don't know. I had a good time playing it, and.
Well, you played a trombone at Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
In the band.
Yeah. So I played trombone pretty much all throughout middle school, high school, and then went to Ohio State because I wanted to audition for the marching band. So.
Did you make it, or were they
Nah, I made it. Yeah.
Good
no,
shit.
it was I don't know. It's kind of something that I had to prepare for the whole summer leading up to it. They had an app where they would teach you all the marching fundamentals. So I'd be studying the app and then learning how to march and everything. And
yeah, so you had to learn the trombone obviously, but also the actual marching patterns, right?
Yeah, they have a very specific style of how they march. So yeah, prepared for it that way. Showed up and then.
So were you posted up in your backyard marching around?
Yeah, literally. It was in my backyard. I'd go to the football field at our high school, just be by myself, marching up and down the field, and I don't know, there'd be people passing by that definitely were what the hell is going on?
Were you practicing with trombone, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I was playing, marching around, doing all the drills and fundamentals and stuff.
So did you have to wear one of those crazy hats?
Yeah, I mean in the band we had uniforms. So
did that change how you played it all? Did you have to practice with the hat on as well?
I didn't actually get to wear the hat until I made it. But honestly, like when I was practicing and moving to learn, I'd just be in shorts and a t-shirt. So the first time actually marching in uniform, it was kind of like,
I feel like it's restricting, right?
Yeah, the uniform's like made of wool, and the hat is, I don't know, it's kind of like heavy
It's
and like
little...
tight on your head. So it was definitely just different, but I feel like we adapted pretty quick once you get used to it and the swing of it.
So you had the trombone, but I was stalking on the Instagram a little bit.
Of course.
Seems like you play many, many other instruments.
Yeah.
Give us a rundown on that.
For sure. So alongside the trombone, when I was kind of going through middle school and high school, I played in a band on the drums. It's a funny story because like I had this drum set in my house and I would kind of mess around on it, but I don't think I was really that good. But I had some friends that knew about it, and I remember one day my homie came up and he was like, "Yo, I heard you play the drums. Like, I'm starting a band. Do you want to join it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I play the drums. I'm super down." But I wasn't actually that good, so they kind of took me on. We started.
Yeah, funny story. I actually also played the drums in like a band in fifth grade.
No way.
If you really dug the internet right now, like you could find some.
What kind of stuff did you play?
Our band was called Forever 5.
Forever 5?
So.
Are you guys still going? Like it has to last forever, right?
It was very much a cover band.
Okay.
I think we played like some Kelly Clarkson. We were really ripping.
Sick.
That original shit.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Kelly Clarkson. Since You've Been Gone, that's like one of those early songs I heard that I was just like, wow, this is a true banger.
So like, what was your first show that you ever remember playing?
So with the rock band I played with, the reason we made the band was for this like Battle of the Bands event at our middle school. It was called Musical Mayhem. So I remember playing that, and we just played like a couple covers. Like we played a Led Zeppelin cover, and it was definitely...
What song?
I think we played Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. Might have played a Weezer song. And then there's another one I can't remember. But I don't think like I used the kick drum on the kit.
Never?
For like one of those songs. Well, I feel like some of them I did, but one of them was so fast and like definitely past my technical ability at that point. So I was just like not using the kick drum and just trying to survive a little bit. But it was fun. It was pretty weird to be up in front of people playing like at that level.
Do you get stage fright now still? Or have you kind of leveled yourself out?
I still do. I think it's like overall it's come down over time, but I think like the couple minutes leading up to a show, like when I know I like had to step on stage in a couple minutes, I think that's where it's the most intense. But
I mean, that's how I feel about this. I'm literally like shitting my pants right before this. Like, oh my God, I don't know. I
think it's just an anticipation thing. Like if you care about it, you're gonna be nervous and like.
Which I feel like you should. Anything you care about, you should feel some sort of anxiety. Anxiety is meant as a survival tool.
For sure. It's like an energizer a little bit.
Exactly, a little adrenaline push here and there.
Absolutely.
So, you started trombone, drums, we got that. How'd you get into DJing?
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I've always had this musical interest, like throughout being in the rock band, like learning how to play drums, listening to covers, writing some like songs on the drums, and then in marching in symphonic band, like I don't know, just being in an atmosphere with a group of people where we're like all interested in creating music or working on some kind of like musical goal. So I think with DJing, so I didn't really like, I've always loved electronic music. Like there's different roots and electronic songs and artists that I've enjoyed over time. But when I moved to Chicago, I feel like that's when I first really got introduced to house and like what DJing was and like CNC DJs and all that.
When did you move to Chicago?
2020. So nice. 2021 actually. Kind of just as COVID was clearing up.
What brought you here?
Work. So I had a job here.
You were like a finance bro, investment banker.
Yeah. So I in college like studied finance. My minor was speech and hearing science, and so I don't know. I was in some classes in a business program where I was surrounded by people who were kind of on the finance path and just learning about what my peers were doing. And I also in college, like during the summer, had a business with some friends. We had like a lawn care business, and It was
you
super
guys
fun.
like just mowing lawns and shit?
Mowing lawns, like doing yard work. And it was really satisfying. Like it was fun to run the business and like have the client aspect of it and then do the administrative stuff and like make a plan about how to like provide a good service and then follow through with it. I don't know. Like it was just a good time. So that got me really interested in business. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to see, like have some flexibility, learn about different kinds of businesses, like learn about the industry a little bit. So I don't know, I decided to like pursue the finance and the banking path because I thought that it'd be just a really good way to learn, like in a fast-paced environment, kind of learn from people who are really good at what they do, and like just get exposure to different kinds of industries and stuff. So yeah, I did went to banking after college, that's why I moved here. And I did it for a couple of years. Like it was pretty intense, pretty fast-paced.
What was your average work week?
It varied. Like I think usually it was like 60 hours, but at the most intense points it was like over 80, like 90 sometimes. Yeah. So it was just
feel that one big time.
yeah. It was a hustle. I mean, I don't know. I think it was a really valuable experience because they make you work. Like it required me to stay organized, like make sure I knew what I was doing, manage my time.
Is there anything you miss about it?
Honestly, I made some really good friends from it, like some other people my age. And like, I don't know, all my colleagues were smart. Like I enjoyed just being in an atmosphere like where I felt like I was surrounded by smart people. Like I was learning a lot. I still am all the time, but like, and then, I don't know, there was like some satisfaction about completing a project for that kind of work. Like when the presentation was done or the deal closed or like when the project was finished. Like,
is there anything in music that gives you that same satisfaction?
Yeah, I think preparing for a set or playing a set, I think most of my sets I try to come in with like all new music, all stuff that I've found recently or like haven't really tried live yet. And same with the band, like preparing and like practicing for a show and then doing it and completing it, I feel like it's just like a full process. And then similarly with like releasing songs, releasing music, like there's all different aspects to pay attention to with making sure the song's done, like having the cover art, choosing a day to release and everything. But yeah, it's like a process kind of thing. So you only have one song on Spotify right now. When are we getting more music? I'm waiting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm locked into that song right now. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I got the one song on Spotify. I got a couple more on SoundCloud. I don't know. I got tons of music that I have finished, like a whole stack of it.
Because you're making a song with Kevin right now too.
Yeah.
Who I think he'll be on soon enough, hopefully.
Totally.
But yeah, how you feeling about all the music coming out?
Pretty good. I mean, it's been interesting to navigate because like I make so many different kinds of music in a way. I feel like a big part of the journey of producing has been like getting interested in a style or a specific sound and trying it and then growing like as a producer and becoming better, more technically like able to like make new stuff. So I don't know, it's been like a journey because my sound has evolved over time and I'm not really sure like, oh, that's the one that I want to put out right now because I'm not sure which one comes after that and stuff.
Do you have a sound right now that you find yourself leaning towards more than anything else?
A little bit. I feel like recently I've been experimenting more with like playing live guitar and live bass on my tracks. So like another, group they do a really nice job of like making house music, but having really good like analog and instrumental
See, okay, this is embarrassing as hell, but is it a noter or is it another?
I've heard all kinds of different
I've heard
things.
everything, and I'm like, I have no idea what it actually is. And we went to a noter for, hopefully that's it. People in the comments are going to be like, fuck you.
No, correct us. Like, let us know what it is.
Please correct us. But we went for my friend Mickey's birthday, and it was a blast and a half. But they did a great job at blending that kind of instrumental and electronic music into one genre to just get down and dirty with. For sure. It's like, it's housey, but it's got some tropical and like melodic elements too. So, I mean, they're just like one of the inspirations I have and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like I'm dabbling with all kinds of different sounds, but at the end of the day,
everybody that I talk to and like other producers and just listeners are always like, just rip it, like put it out. You know, it's not that deep at the end of the day because
we live and we die.
Yeah, that's profound. Well said. Well said. So, no, I think like I have a pretty good list of tracks that I like that I want to put on Spotify. Probably in the next like couple months coming up. So it's just a matter of really like making sure they're dialed and polished, and then figuring out what kind of vibes I want to present them as for like a release. You know.
Do you think you'd ever do like a full album, or are you just gonna release like one at a time? I feel like releasing an album as a DJ is like kind of hard. No. It
is. I mean, I don't know. There's a mix between like the gut of the DJ, like what you want to do as an artist, and then like paying attention to how the market reacts to things. Like, what do listeners want to hear? Do they want to hear?
They want to hear
single,
"Shiver" by John Summit.
Yeah, like a single every so often, or like one really distinct like heater of a track, or are they gonna be like, oh, I'm down to listen to your 8 or 12 or whatever song album? I mean, Skrillex just put out an album that's like 34 tracks, I think. So.
Not gonna lie, I'm not that locked in.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, but you know, there's different. I don't think there's one particular way to do it. So I'm just trying to settle like what the plan is a little bit.
Nice.
I feel like SoundCloud's a great resource though. So like, there's stuff I want to put on Spotify, but SoundCloud is a good like, it's a tester. It's more of like a portfolio where you can put some stuff that you're like, yeah, try it out, see what people think.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for coming up? Shows, music, anything like that?
Wow.
Because you've been, I feel like at least from the time I've known you, which has not been that long, like a month.
Yeah.
Now I feel like
met pretty recently.
You've been like a booked and busy man.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what are you looking forward to?
I'm excited for the summer. I feel like Chicago summer, just at its core, is such a great time. Lots of music, like people are feeling good. There's all kinds of things to do. So for the summer, I'm looking forward to releasing music. Like I just trying to bite the bullet and not worry too much about it, and just like try to drop a bunch of stuff. Run that, and then try to play a little bit, play with my band a little bit, and yeah, just kind of keep going with it.
So you mentioned your band, Chef.
Yeah, Chef.
But it's a CHEF.
Yeah.
We were on the phone the other day. You said, I asked her, what's the acronym? You said there are many acronyms.
There are many acronyms.
So give me a little more on that.
Sure.
What are the acronyms? Where did it come from?
Yeah. So this is a group we've been playing almost for 3 years now together. Background about the group: the bass player and I go back to that first rock band that we like.
Oh, really? So you guys are like day one, middle school.
Yeah, shout out Shani. I've known him, I think, since 3rd grade. So like very long time. We've been homies, just been around the block. So we've been playing music together for a long time, and then both moved to Chicago. And there was a period like where we weren't like involved with any bands or playing or anything, but we had this mutual friend, Pete, who introduced us to Mike and Trev, who are also day one homies. They're
like third, are we talking 3rd grade day one homies?
Yeah, like since they were 8 years old or something. So we had this like pair of us, and we got introduced to a mutual friend. We all grew up in like a pretty close vicinity of each other, but...
Were you guys like biking to each other's houses and like...
We'd actually never really hung out until we started playing music.
Really?
Until a couple years ago. Yeah. One of them has like a brother that's in our class and stuff, but... So we started this group, we started just jamming, like kind of hanging out, it was pretty casual, but then we started reaching the point where we were like, we should play some shows, like let's try to get a gig, might as well. So we were thinking of band names. I think our original band name was Duke Hooligan, just super random. I don't know what the root of that was, but it was kind of goofy.
Well, it reminds you of like Duke of Hazzards.
Yeah, something
kind
like
of
that.
Kind of like similar.
Yeah, it was just like... placeholder. I don't know. I think Mike came up with it. It's a good name.
Duke Hooligan sounds mischievous as hell.
Yeah, I think it's like the side project for our group. If like when we want to make other stuff.
Like a subsidiary of Chef.
Pretty much, yeah. All within the umbrella. But I think we were just having like a text thread where we should have like what's our band name? Like what do we want to be called? So there's different ideas flying, but something that started going down the realm of like adjective chefs, like the green chefs or like the whatever chefs. And then like someone was just like, what if it's just chef? Like, and I think it took a second, but then we were like, oh, it could be an acronym. Like there's lots of ways to evolve it just beyond like what it means. And there's lots of good like bits you can get out of it related to cooking and
throw me some of your bits right now.
Oh, I mean, you can make it food related, you can make it music related and stuff like that. But in terms of the acronym, I don't know. I feel like one of the first, some of the first couple of acronyms were like a couple of homies exchanging frequencies, Chicago homegrown electronic funk, Chicago hot dog extra fries. Like.
So what's your favorite acronym? If you had to,
I don't know. What's the acronym that comes to mind for you?
Chicago homies, what was it? Electronic funk. That's pretty good. Yeah. I feel like that fits, but you guys aren't electronic music. You're more like rock, indie-ish type.
Yeah, we do like a lot of funk, blues, like psychedelic rock.
Did you play like scubas and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. We have a song that has like a keyboard, like synthy part, and we're always trying to like explore more electronic elements without it. Not even without it.
Being overwhelming.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like our root is in like funk and rock and blues, but I feel like we all have different kinds of inspirations that make it kind of unique of a sound. And it's always evolving. So
do you then see like you're producing and electronic music and DJing as separate from that, or do you try and like intertwine the two?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I'd say they fundamentally or like base case are pretty separate, but I think they also blend because like my homies in Chef like electronic music. Like my friend Eric and Shannon and I like have gone to a bunch of electronic shows together. I feel like we have similar electronic tastes, and like similar with the other guys, there's lots of bridges in terms of the stuff we listen to and appreciate. In terms of the work though, it's like I feel like as a group we gather for Chef and we work on that. And the stuff I listen to in electronic probably influences the way I play. Like, as a drummer, if I listen to a lot of house music for a while and then show up to Chef,
get it's like 4x4, right?
Yeah, I have some like 4-on-the-floor, like disco kind of sounds. And then similarly, Chef introduced me a lot to like a lot of really good funk music. Lots of good like, I don't know, just like upbeat, happy vibes. So in my own production, I definitely take some of the things I've learned instrumentally and musically from Chef and like bring it to the DJ stuff. Because
it all has to be like connected. It's all music at the end of the day.
Yeah,
like,
it's all linked for sure.
It's gonna influence each other whether or not you like it, I'm assuming.
Totally. But I mean, we've had ideas of like making like a house remix of one of our own songs and stuff. So I feel like that could come down the road at some point.
Would you ever do like a live set where you have the band playing in the back, but you're just fucking cooking on the board?
That's sick. I mean, we've talked about hybrid stuff for sure. I mean, as a group, like an idea we have is like having a table with synthesizers and like maybe some decks and stuff, and having it be like way more electronic heavy with guitars and like a live bass. So I don't know, there's always ways to make it happen, I think.
Because I will fuck up a song, like a house song that has a guitar solo in it. Like,
yeah, totally.
I will fuck that shit up.
Yeah, that's sick. I always love like hearing house that incorporates guitars or like other unexpected genres in a way.
Some saxophone, throw some trombone in there.
Yeah, throw some trombone. I want to do it.
Do you still have a trombone? Like, do you own a trombone still?
Yeah, I do. I kind of set it down for a while after college. Like, when I was working in the busy like banking days,
investment banker.
Yeah, I was not playing as much trombone. It just wasn't like top of mind, I guess. I was playing a lot more guitar like after work and kind of at the end of my days. But I do have a trombone. It's in the practice room where my band plays. It's just out, so I'm trying to kind of get back into a little bit. Maybe play it on stage with Chef. Try to incorporate it into my production. I feel like that'd be a cool sound to have, you know? It's you don't hear it too much in house music, especially.
Well, also I feel like these days, and maybe this is like, I don't know, it might not be like a super hot take, but there are so many DJs. Like, do we need this many, you guys? Like, do we need this many DJs?
Yeah.
So if you could bring something...
Interesting conversation, no? Like,
we can get into it.
What do you think?
I I think, the entry level to becoming a DJ is not too terribly difficult. I mean, this board right here is mine. It was like $70 on Amazon. It's the shittiest board ever, but like I'll rip and pregame drunk by myself and like fuck around on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least for me, like I learned very quickly that it was not my thing. But it's pretty easy, you know, people release really amazing art and it's not that hard to like crossfade it and like beat match.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if you're just doing that, like, do we need to be a DJ? Like, I don't know.
No, that's
but
fair.
I think like what you do and a lot of other people that I'm sitting down and talking with, they actually bring something like unique. That's what I really appreciate about you. Like you have something very unique with like the classical background that you bring, even like your involvement with like chef and all of that. Like it's just different compared to a lot of stuff that I've seen out there. So.
Yeah. No,
I do think there are too many
that.
DJs in the world, though. Like, we don't need more DJs.
That's fair. No more DJs. No, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I feel like...
I'm putting a quota on DJs that can be...
Shut them down. No. See, that's the thing. Like, I definitely hear you on that. I feel like it's very accessible, like,
but
thing
also
to get
at the same
into.
time, like, I also don't think we should limit people from creating art. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to say and be like, you cannot create music.
Totally.
Who am I to say?
You can do
like,
whatever you want. No, I feel that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are getting into it, which is cool. I think that's like from my perspective, I got interested in it because it's like a new way to experience music. Like it's customizable, kind of like learning a new instrument. Really, you can make it your own, which I think is a great way for people to, like if they enjoy listening to music, but they don't know how to play an instrument, they're like, oh, I can just see what this is because it's, I don't know, it's $70, like you can just try it out. But I guess I'll just say I agree. I appreciate when like DJs and artists just bring something cool and new to the table with it. I think that's just what inspires me or kind of makes a statement a little bit to be like, yeah, here's something that a lot of people are trying or like know how to do, and I figured out how to do something new with it or like unique, I guess. But I don't know. I'll never tell people to not DJ. I mean, I love it, but I'm not saying you're saying that either. But I hear where you're coming from. You know.
Okay, so I'm gonna get really deep and dirty with it right now. I have a really serious question for you.
All right. Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Is your mustache performative?
That's funny.
Do you know
I don't
what
even
I mean
know.
by like a performative mustache?
Oh, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. The mustache has been on and off longer than I'd like to admit. Like, I think I first tried growing a mustache at the end of high school, and it was really bad.
Was it like sparse and?
It's pretty sparse. Just
You got a good thing going though.
Yeah, no, this is like I think I've had this for like 2 years now. I don't know. So had it in high school, and then in marching band at Ohio State, they had a uniform policy.
Did you have to?
Well, you didn't have to have a mustache, but you had to be clean shaven. Like if you're in uniform, you have to be clean shaven, and then if you wanted facial hair, it had to be a mustache. Like you couldn't have any other beard and stuff. So there's a tradition in the band in November, because at the end of November, Ohio State plays Michigan, big rivalry. Like everyone gets fired up for it, but we'd call it the Michigan mustache. So like a lot of the dudes in the band would grow mustaches of varying degrees. Some worked.
So scale of 1 to 10, you put all of you and your guys in a line with your mustaches. Where do you fall? Where do you fall in that? Are you a top 5
10
mustache?
Out of 10. 10 out of 10 for sure. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's like last in line out of 10, but no, I don't know. I feel like, and then after college, like I just kind of grew the mustache again, like during COVID.
So you shaved it.
I shaved it. Like
I'm getting really detailed timeline of your mustache.
No,
here.
I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. It was on and off, but let's see. After I quit my job, I was like, I don't know. I kind of dig the mustache. Like let the hair grow a little bit, and then it just stuck.
So what gave you the, I guess no better way to put it, but balls to quit your job? Because that's let's be real. Investment banking is probably pretty cozy. I mean, I come from consulting right now. Like, it's not like a easy thing probably to leave. What gave you the motivation to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, obviously, like, it's a intense, like, kind of sought after job. Like, there's reasons why different reasons why people go into it. For me, I was just like, I was working a lot, like really intense work, lots of projects. I was like really fatigued from it. And aside from like the actual like day to day and like intensity of the job, I was thinking about music all the time. Like I was at work, just like hearing music in my head that I knew I wanted to make. I was like, wow, it sounds really great. How do I actually like make this happen? And I was, you know, at the end of work, like my go-to wind down, like even if it was like 3 a.m, I would just play my guitar and practice. And I felt like it was kind of like it put me in a place of feeling present and like, I don't know, it kind of helped me like forget about other things that were stressful or kind of happening in my life. So, because
I mean, I'll be like, whose fucking passion is investment banking? Let's be so real. Like clearly you had an interest in it, but like music was your passion. For sure.
I mean, I probably knew I wasn't going to be like a lifelong banker, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll do something with like healthcare, or I'll go into some other kind of business afterwards. Have more of like a career like centered around like administrative, like business type stuff. But yeah, I think it was like this feeling. I don't know. I was thinking about it a lot, like listened to a lot of music. It put me in a place that felt right. And I just had support from my family. Like my family knows that I like music, and it reached a point where it was like the job was pretty intense, and they were like, you know, you can try other things. Like don't be afraid to, if you have like a gut feeling about something you care about, let it rip. And I don't know, with the banking thing, like I set it up where I was like working pretty hard, saving, like trying to, you know, have flexibility if I were to leave. And then it reached the point where I just was like, I think it's go time. Like I want to try this out, like actually give it a true shot, and just see where it goes, see what happens.
So you know? It's working out though. Seems like you're doing the thing.
Yeah, we're trying to. I mean, it's really interesting because like when I left, I had no idea what my career would look like. Like I wasn't even that set on DJing at that point. Like I was like, oh, I'm kind of learning. I'm aware of what it is, but I don't know if I really connect with house music. Like I was more interested in my band and, you know, playing guitar and kind of evolving that. But right after I left, I went to London to see some friends who were living there. And we went to Printworks. Like I think I was supposed to leave London, and they were like, no, you're not going. You're rebooking your flight for a week later because we're going to Printworks next week. And like, you're coming and it's going to happen. So I was kind of like, all right, I trust you guys. Like I'll stay in London for a little bit longer, check it out. And we went to Printworks and we saw, the DJs I saw there were Ben Rao, Seb Zito, and Hot Since 82. And like, I think that's when it really just kind of clicked for me, like my understanding of like, okay, I understand a little bit more about house music now. Like, I think that's when I was hearing the music and like experiencing the production where I was like, this is like sound texture almost. Like it's not like a structured song and performance where it's like, oh, here's a song, cool, we play that song, here's the next song.
Well, I feel like that's the whole thing with house is at least when I go to see someone play, like I'm going to listen to their music. I'm not going to watch something. I'm going to feel something.
Exactly, yeah.
And so I think, like you said, with that show you saw, like the texture, like you feel it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, people might think it's cliche, but just the energy of being in that room. Like, I was with some really good friends of mine, like people I've known for a long time, and then introduced to new people at that point. And then I'm also surrounded by strangers from the UK or Europe or like probably all around the world. And like, it's just kind of like unity. So you could look to somebody totally random and be like, wow, this is sick. Like I'm having a great time.
Yeah, and like you ever like lock eyes with someone in the crowd and you just like lock the fuck into that song and
like,
just...
You get it, you know? Yeah.
Even like, I mean, I think probably like the second time we ran into each other out, it was at Spy Bar.
Yeah.
That one night and like, who was even playing that night?
I think it was it Wheats?
Wheats, yeah.
Sick set, by the way. That was
so
sick,
good, so good. Shout out House Calls.
Shout out House Calls, yeah.
But like, I remember just like looking at you, looking at my friends, and we're just like all in it together. And I think like that's what separates this kind of music from everything else, where like pop music, you're going to watch fucking, I don't know, Sabrina Carpenter go play like, and like do like a sex position on shades. No shade. Like she's fucking killing the game.
She's
like
an artist,
she's doing the thing, but like it feels like we're all kind of on the same level as like the music, the people in the crowd, the production. Everything is just very linear is definitely not the right word, but
it's cohesive. I mean,
it's cohesive.
Just like, yeah, and that's the thing like the more sets I went to and moments like that I experienced, like I thought it was really cool to be able to be in a place that's like you're with all these people, you are part of this collective, you feel this unity, and then you're also in a space within yourself. Like I feel like just being in my own head at shows like that and like just being with myself, I'm allowed to tap into that. Like everyone's gonna respect if you wanna socialize and dance with your homies, or if you just have moments to yourself where you're thinking and like, I don't know, listening to music or allowing that to guide your emotions a little bit. You can experience both at the same time, or like tap
there's
in and out
no
of
pressure from either side to like be a certain way. You can just kind of exist. And I feel like that sounds so corny to like say like, yeah, you just exist, dude. Like
no, it's important. I mean, that's what we do. We exist. So like however you want to, not even want to exist, but however you just end up existing, like especially in that environment, I think is cool. And like, yeah, you're surrounded by people that are going to be supportive. Like I've very rarely like encountered moments where I didn't feel like someone was being respectful. Like,
so you say very rarely. That means there has been a time though that you have felt maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's always gonna be a time at a show where I don't know, someone's just like.
So okay, give me an example. No, we don't need to name names, obviously, or anything. I'm sure it's probably so like offhand, but
no, I don't even know if I have anything like super specific. I feel like maybe I've just noticed moments where like there are some people arguing, or like it's just stuff that naturally happens when you're out. But I don't think anyone's really been like disrespectful to me straight up.
You've never been like, dude, you fucking blew it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean,
granted, I don't think you possibly could just blow it, but
no, I don't know. I hope not. But no, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything like super specific where I had a bad run-in. I think it was just like being aware of the surroundings. Like, oh, I noticed there was like a situation or something happening. But that's just what happens kind of anywhere, I feel like. So
you live and you learn.
Truly.
So what's your favorite venue to play in Chicago then? We'll keep it specific to Chicago, and then I don't know if you've played like many other places,
I've only
but
played around Chicago so far. Honestly, I think my favorite one I played was at House of Blues. I played
Foundation Room or different?
Foundation Room was sick. I played there last week, and then I also played on the main stage there.
Oh, really?
And I think it was November, like super early November. I got a call or text asking, "Oh, we need like an opener for this group Infected Mushroom tomorrow. Are you down?" And
I've never, not gonna lie, never heard of that before.
Yeah, I was like, yes, and then immediately was like, "Who is Infected Mushroom? What is Infected Mushroom? Like, what is this?" And there's this trance group, like Psytrance. I think they're from Israel, maybe. Let me fact check that. But it was like a really cool, unique opportunity at House of Blues, and I had never really dove that far into trance music before. But I spent like the whole night. I like stayed up super late, just doing a bunch of research, listening to tracks, like learning more about the group, and just finding a bunch of music. And playing at that venue was sick. Like, it's such a historic venue to begin with.
That's like, I mean, my mom is from Chicago. She used to always talk about like her stories at House of Blues.
Totally.
And so like, for me to like be sitting down with people and just like even being in House of Blues, I'm like, this is like a lineage of people and
For
music.
real.
So
tons of history, tons of really great acts have come through there. But I don't know, that was really special. Like, it was unexpected, and it turned out just really sick. Like, it sounded great. The room was pretty full when I played, so that was a cool experience, just playing for like a large group of people. And I don't know, in that moment, you're just like, wow, these people all kind of trust me that I'm gonna provide an experience musically and, I don't know, kind of take them on.
So did you tailor your set that day to fit kind of the vibe of, what was it?
Infected Mushroom.
Infected Mushroom?
Yeah. No, I did, yeah. I think I was trying to, they were looking for like that genre. So I was trying to find something like music that I felt would start the night off right, but wasn't going to be like super overpowering, or it gave it some room to breathe after my set was up. So House of Blues is really sick. But I love playing at Spy Bar, and I love playing at Smoke and Mirrors.
Spy Bar, my favorite place in the entire world.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie,
really
like
fun.
Spy Bar is where I walk down those stairs. I am on a different level.
Yeah.
Every single fucking time, I'm locked in.
On a different level, like the downstairs level.
I'm physically on a different level.
Truly.
Nobody could disturb my peace in that little box of a building.
Yeah, Spy Bar is super fun.
Because you played with Luke Van Dyke, right?
Yeah, I played an opening for him. Super fun, and then. Yeah, it's a cool place. Like I feel like the music there really hits. They got a good sound system. Just the atmosphere of the club is really.
It's so like
cool.
intimate, but it's still a club where I feel like people get like pretty down and dirty with it.
Oh, totally.
Seen some characters in that place.
Absolutely.
What do you think is like the craziest thing you've seen while out?
Oh man.
Or maybe not even the craziest, but just like. What has stuck with you the most?
Honestly, my band had an interesting moment. It was like really quick, but like we played this show at Hard Rock Cafe right before it closed. It was a really
the big one?
Yeah.
So sorry, sidebar. You know the big McDonald's right by Hard Rock Cafe?
Absolutely.
Whenever me and my friends out in River North, we hit that McDonald's, and because it's next to the Hard Rock Cafe, we call it Rock and Roll McDonald's. And we have a song.
Yeah. How's the song go?
It's called Rock and Roll McDonald's.
You gotta sing it.
Rock and Roll McDonald's. Rock and Roll Can you sample that?
Absolutely. We'll take the audio from that and we'll make a track out of it for sure. Yeah.
I'll be waiting for that. By the way.
Yeah. That McDonald's is
Rock and Roll McDonald's. Geo Smith featuring Kaia Pierce.
It's gonna happen.
Let's run it.
Let's rumble. Yeah. We're playing at that Hard Rock Cafe. It recently closed, so I think we were like, I don't know, we got in right before it closed out. But the stage there has these stairs right in the middle of it. It's like a pretty big stage in front of like the dining area and stuff. And we're in the middle of our set, and then this dude just like walked right up the stairs and just like took a selfie and then walked off. And we were like, all right, cool. Like that was totally random. Didn't see it coming. So I don't know. That was like interesting like performance experience. But I don't know. In terms of being out, like
people tend to be pretty respectful. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, there's always gonna be like some kind of shenanigans going on. Like I think at Prism a couple times, like. Been there and there's a dude like he looks like a ghost. Like he's wearing like a disco hat and a bed sheet and like
I'm obsessed with that guy.
It's a major vibe.
I don't understand like where he comes from, what he does, but he's always there.
I've seen him there
and he's always
times.
Lurking and he's always just like locked the fuck in. And honestly, I want the little disco ball hat.
Yeah, totally.
He's like a creature of the night, I feel like.
Truly. Every time I see him, I'm like, I know it's gonna be a great time because his vibes are contagious. Like
they are so good.
Dancing super
He'll
hard.
He'll like wrap you up in the scarf.
Yeah. Like that's the kind of stuff I love because like obviously he doesn't worry too much or
he's
care
just
too much. Like he's having a great time. So
he's on his own little journey. Yeah. Not there with anyone ever from what I've seen.
For sure. And I don't know. Like he's always down to like dance and interact and stuff. And then, but I don't know. That's the kind of energy I love in house music, especially. Like people are kind of
weirdos, but like in like the best way possible. Because people are not like, I feel like okay enough with being just kind of weird these days. Like people are so just like in themselves and too afraid to be like perceived by other people. It's like let's get a little bit weird, you guys.
Yeah, like let it out a little bit. I agree. I'm definitely like guilty of sometimes reserving myself. Like. I don't know.
I'm like, is someone gonna think I'm like terrible and like weird and stupid? But also, I'm like, that's the kind of the point of it all. Where I also see these people, and you guys look like you're having the best fucking time in your entire life, and like, that's the point.
someone once said you live and you die, right? So
That's what I said about.
so like, kind of just gotta.
You live and you die.
Just gotta let it rip. I don't know. I think like, I feel like a lot of my really like close homies and people that I love, especially in the scene and just in life, they come from moments where I feel like I've been truly authentic and like not afraid to like let it boogie a little bit or like say something weird or whatever.
What's your like version of weird though? Let's
I don't know,
lay it
just
on the
like,
table.
kind of like scatting, saying weird shit or dancing a little bit, not being afraid to like, you know, let it rip. So.
Well, okay, I have one final question for you.
All right, we're wrapping it up, yeah.
And see, I know I told you that my final question would be, what's kind of your life motto, life philosophy? But I had another question proposed to me that I think will maybe be a little more on theme. So.
Okay, all right.
And this, feel free to let it run however you want it to run, but someone wants to get behind your booth, your DJ booth. They want to get behind the booth,
okay.
as we might say around here.
Yeah.
How are they doing that? What do they have to bring? Hypothetically, of course, because I'm sure you don't always want people like up in your business, but.
That's a good question. So you're saying like at a show, like if I'm playing.
Like you see like, not like a chick in the crowd, you're like, she is good vibes. What do those good vibes entail for you?
I don't know. I feel like I just love authenticity and like good vibes and open-mindedness. So like if I'm trying some like new shit on the mix or something that I'm like not really sure about,
Super confident in.
but I don't know, and I see someone enjoying it or like you can tell.
Have you
they're
ever
listening.
like brought someone up to the booth before?
Not particularly.
Not
I guess
really.
I don't know. I haven't really.
You never like been like skating in the crowd and be like, she bad as hell. Let's get her up here.
Yeah, I mean, not yet. Like, you never know. I don't know. I feel like most of my sets have been pretty chill from that perspective. I'm not actively like scouting. More just trying to provide the music and stuff. But I don't know. I would say for someone to like come to the booth, I don't think they really have to bring anything other than just
Themselves.
good vibes. Like maybe don't like try to touch the buttons and stuff unless they know what they're doing. I guess I don't know. But yeah, just I don't know. I appreciate authenticity and like people that are just down to enjoy the present moment and. Yeah.
Well, I feel like that wraps.
Sick. Thanks for having me. This has been a blast.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
chilling. Yep.